you trade this consistently and with discipline, the compounding effect can be powerful, and it's not unrealistic that you can make 200 or 300% profit. If I had to start options trading today with just $2,000 in my account, I would do something so simple that most people wouldn't think it could work. And the results will surprise you, because the power isn't in risky trades. It's in using a strategy that actually has an edge, and then executing it with consistency and discipline. Today, I'll show you exactly what I would do, and I'll use Grok to simulate it and stress test it, so we get a fair, realistic indication of what kind of results we can expect. I'm now going to open Grok, and I'm going to be typing this step by step so you can see exactly how you can make a simulation yourself. Help you test a bull put credit spread strategy. I want to test it on QQQ, which is one of the biggest ETFs. I want the short leg delta to be 0.3. I want the days to expiration at entry to be 45. And I want to close all positions 21 days before they expire. I want each spread to be $5 wide, and we're going to simulate that the size of this account is $2,000. And I want the strategy to place one trade every week, every Monday when the market opens. And when we are closing a trade and it's a winner, we put on a new trade immediately. Don't open any new trades though, if the account's buying power is already 80% utilized. This part is super important. I'm simulating compounding. Every time we win a trade and free up capital, we're going to put on another trade right away. But I'm capping utilization at 80%, so don't blow up the account if several trades goes against me. Okay, so the first thing we see here is that the total profit is $2,774. The average profit per trade is $27.74. And the max drawdown is almost 75%. That's insane. Way too dangerous to trade this strategy this way. Let's see if we can improve the results by using a profit target of 50% or 60%. So now Grok is rerunning the simulation with our profit target rule. And we can see the total P&L is increased to $3,418. The win rate is up to 79%, and the drawdown has dropped to around 61%. So results are already looking way better. And before we continue, I want to take a minute to look at the results, because this is exactly when you have to stay critical when you're using AI. Grok is telling me that the 60% profit target gives a higher win rate and lower drawdown than the 50% target. That doesn't make any sense, because any trade that hits a 60% profit target would have hit the 50% target first, right? So why would 60% have a higher win rate? Clearly, this is a mistake. So the lesson is, don't trust AI 100%. You really need to be critical when you are looking at the results. But for what we're doing here, it's okay. We wanted to see if profit targets improve the outcome and reduce drawdown at the same time. And the signal is clear. A profit target is doing something useful for the strategy. So this is good enough for me. Now let's keep going and see if a stop loss can improve things even more. With this being a credit spread, we already know that our max loss can only be the $500, which is the $5 wide of the spread, minus the credit we received. And let's say we get $1 in credit per trade, well then our max loss is $400. But it might make sense to cut that in half. Okay, so here are the results. And we can see that the results improved again. A 50% stop loss increased the profit to $3,912. And it gives us an 81% win rate. So not only did we get a higher profit, we also increased our win rate, and we also decreased the drawdown. So we have really eliminated a bunch of very bad trades by using the stop loss. 81% win rate, and the drawdown all the way down to 42%. So far, the simulation is going great. So let's take this to the next level and do some stress testing. I want a combined strategy, 50% profit target and a 50% stop loss. But this time I want 100 simulations instead of one. This is also called a Monte Carlo simulation. The simulation pretends to place 100 trades using our exact rules. And here we have the result of the Monte Carlo simulation, where we simulated 100 different outcomes. Now we're going to look at the average of those 100 outcomes. So we have a total profit of $4,250. We have a win rate of 81%. The max drawdown is 45%. We placed 130 trades, and in average, we hold the trades 15 days. So our account would go from $2,000 to $6,450 over these 130 trades. And I can also see that one of the 100 simulations had a profit of $7,200, and the worst run ended up with $1,800 in profit. So out of the 100 simulations, all of them were actually profitable. So this strategy is looking pretty good. Obviously, the ugly part is the drawdown, but the average drawdown is around 45%. And I actually think that's okay for an option strategy. Would I accept a 45% drop to potentially make 200% profit? For me, yeah, that's okay. But you need to ask yourself that question, because that's not for everyone. Now I want to do a few sanity checks to make sure I can trust these results. I want to ask how likely it is that this strategy will lose money. It says less than 1% in the pure simulation, but it's also telling us that in real life, it might be a little bit different. So a better estimation of the chances of not making money is probably 3 to 10%, which I think sounds fair. So what's my conclusion? Based on the simulation, I would not be afraid of trading this strategy. The simulation shows it's extremely unlikely that you don't make a profit if you trade this strategy consistently. And I'm not surprised, because this is just a modified version of the strategy I'm already using. And it's a strategy where we are taking a lot of small bets that has a very high probability of winning. And we always manage our risk, so a losing trade is not going to damage our results completely. So if you trade this consistently and with discipline, the compounding effect can be powerful, and it's not unrealistic that you can make 200 or 300% profit trading like this. But consistency and discipline is the key. That part is on you. So yes, I would trade this strategy if I started out tomorrow with a $2,000 account and needed to grow that as much as I could in the safest way. But keep in mind, this is a simulation, it's not reality. It's a stress test. It's a way to compare rules and systems, not predict exact returns. So I suggest you do your own research and play around with your favorite AI. Try different profit targets and stop losses. And if you want, you can add entry filters and see if that will improve your results as well. For example, use the SMA, the VIX, or some kind of momentum indicator. But the big takeaway is, you don't need complexity to have an edge. A simple probability-based strategy will most likely be profitable if you're consistent and disciplined. All right, time to place a new trade. My list of potential trades today is honestly not very exciting. If I wasn't recording, I'll probably sit on my hands and do something else today. But I'm here to entertain and keep this interesting, so I'm going with the highest rated name on my list. Today, that's Tesla. If you're wondering how I scored these setups, why Tesla is on the top, and exactly how I run this strategy, go watch my earlier videos, because in these videos I break down the full system step by step. As always, before I place a trade, I check the market conditions. The VIX is below 20 and the SPY is above its 50-day moving average. That means I have green light to trade today. Tesla just closed back above its 50-day SMA yesterday, which is why it's back on my list. If it's below the 50-day SMA, then I wouldn't be trading it. I actually already have one open Tesla position. Normally, I avoid stacking too many trades on the same stock, but my open position is very close to my profit target. So I expect I can close it later today or maybe next week. So for that reason, I'm okay putting a new Tesla trade on today, as long as it has a different expiration date. I don't want to have two trades with the same stock expiring the exact same day. As always, I'm looking for 45 to 50 days out, and I want the lowest short strike where I can still collect about $4 of credit on a $20 wide spread. So here's the trade. I'm going to sell the $395 put. I'm going to buy the $375 put. That gives me about $395 in credit. The short strike delta is around 21. Everything here fits my strategy. Only thing left to do is to log this in my trade journal. And as you can see from the sheet, this trade is similar to all my other trades when it comes to the credit collected as well as the risk. Let's do a quick check on the other trades I've opened right now. This week has been pretty wild. The market was closed Monday, and then Tuesday we got the biggest drop since October. But none of my positions hit the stop loss zone, which is actually what you want to see. And it shows you trading a strategy like this give you a lot of room for the market to go against you without being stopped out. Here's the other Tesla trade we talked about. I opened that one on January 7. This one is actually up more than 50% now, so it's time to close it out. Remember, when you're opening a bull put spread, you sell a put to collect a credit. You use some of that credit to buy a lower put as protection. So to close it, I have to do the opposite. I have to buy back the put that I sold, and I have to sell the put that I bought. It will cost me around $180 to $187 to close it. So I collected $397 when I opened the trade. Now I'm buying it back, and I'm going to log in roughly $210 in profit, which is a little above my $200 target. So nice exit here, and we now have our second winner of the year. Let's check on our light trade. This one is right now down about $42, roughly 10%, but it still has around 78% probability of profit. Nothing to do here, it just needs more time. And the Palantir, the trade from last week, we got a big drop the day after I entered the position. So right now it's down around $150. The delta has moved from 0.22 up to 0.30. So the risk has increased. For now, I'm not touching it, but I'm watching it daily. Because if Palantir gets another big drop, then we are very close to the exit zone. All right, that's it for today. The takeaway is simple. You don't need complex and fancy trading strategies. You need rules, probability, and discipline. If I had to start all over tomorrow with a $2,000 account, I would trade this exact strategy. My experience tells me that this strategy would work very well, and that has just been confirmed by a simulation. What you do is up to you. Just don't do anything stupid.